rivals. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Well, to the locals, it's still and will always be Heinz Field. But for the rest of us, we're along the North Shore of the Allegheny and Ohio Rivers at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they've definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career, and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears. And the one who is more skilled at leveraging that experience, more than likely is going to come away with the win.
Katie York set to get this one started. And we're off from Acrisure. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. So the Steeler offense getting out there for its opening drive of the game. Leading them out, a man in his 13th NFL season and rising quickly up the career leaderboards, Russell Wilson.
Kate, Russell Wilson's one of the NFL's most experienced quarterbacks. He's also one of the winningest quarterbacks, even with a couple bumps in the road in Denver. Remember, over that decade in Seattle with Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom, there wasn't a quarterback that won more games in the history of the league over the first 10 years. 9 times to the Pro Bowl as well. Put a supporting cast around him, give him a run game and a defense, and Russell Wilson still knows very well how to play this game.
And he drives that truck backward on a gain of 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a first down.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Blitz coming, Russ. Into the hands of Pat Freiermuth. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the play. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
On the carry, this is Najee Harris. And he drives ahead for good yardage up to the 45. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
This is Harris on 2nd down. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. 3 yards there and enough to move the chains.
You know what I like about a 2nd and short run play, Kate? Yeah, I like getting a first down, but you know what I like even more? That's going to set up a play-action pass in a similar down and distance, and that defense is going to have to key on the run.
Wilson with it on 1st. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Now an inside handoff to Harris. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
He easily had the yardage for a first, but he was hungry for a lot more. I think that tackle prevented something that was going to be a lot bigger than just a first down pickup.
Offense executing early. New set of downs at the 38-yard line. First down, and they go right back to him. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's a Steelers first down.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine. And that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
Going to the ground again on first. And he's swallowed up in the middle. No gain on the run. Stop made by Sam Hubbard. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
I know these DNs love to get to the quarterback. I know that sacks many times equals a bigger payday, but doing the dirty work, playing the run well, that's what the best of the ends do in this league.
So now they're going to throw with Wilson. Fryermuth there to bring it in. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
3rd and just 2 to go. Shotgun snap for Wilson. That's caught for the first. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. But nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. 1st and goal. Trying to run in. Harris. And he found some running room for a nice gain. That's a gain of 8, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
Harris. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Steelers finish up an excellent opening series. Najee Harris, the touchdown. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start to a game than that. The offense taking it all the way down the field and finishing with 6.
These opening drives, Kate, are such tone setters. It is why every offense loves to script their first 15 plays, right? Everybody knows what's coming. Allows you during the practice week to get into rhythm, but even better when you're that sharp, that crisp, and you finish off and get the early lead.
Chris Boswell for the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Now Boswell on to send this away. Return starts at the 9. And this return gets to the 30 before he stops. So here come the Bengals, ready for their opening drive. They're led out by a motivated player coming off an injury, one of the game's great young QBs, Joe Burrow.
When Joe Burrow's between the white lines, he's one of the game's best and most entertaining quarterbacks. He just has a cool factor that is the envy of so many. Nothing seems to bother them other than some injuries that unfortunately have ended seasons early. When he's on the field, timing, the anticipation, Kate, the precision with which he plays, he has very few peers.
Play action now, Burrow. And his first pass falls incomplete.
He's counting his lucky stars. That one isn't headed the other way right now. That is not the time to challenge double coverage.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. First give of the game here to Chase Brown. And he started to get through the lane before it closed. 3 yards there. Peyton Wilson getting there for the stop.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Tight end motioning right. On 3rd down, here's Burrow. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Burrow from the gun. That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you've got to count on those being efficient and effective.
And the push forward doesn't get beyond the line. Tackled by the venerable Cameron Hayward. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on 3rd down.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
To the air, 3rd and long. Finds his man Chase. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That's going to pick up the 1st down after a gain of 26.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Offense already looking like they're in mid-game form. They've got it down to the 32. 1st down, Burrow to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. 3rd and short in your back pocket. You can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the 23. Completes this one to Chase. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. To throw again, it's Burrow. This throw is caught. And he drives this forward to the 6.
Okay, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes just like that.
Out of the shotgun, Burrow. The throw is caught. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. Now following that completion, we see a man shaken up. Officials calling for a pause as he gets looked at. Third and a lone yard coming up. Burrow out of the shotgun. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Seeing some early game planning at work here, Brock. They were quick to attack that throw and break it up.
Yeah, this defense knows the importance this offense places on throwing the ball to their tight ends, and they were ready for it and all over it.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th. Trying for it with Burrow. Escapes the pocket. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. That was the biggest 3-yard gain you're going to see because instead of a turnover on downs, Brock, it gets them a 1st.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the 1st down.
Brown. And he'll only find 1 yard up the gut. 2nd down.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Now it's 2nd and goal from the 1. Looking to throw, Burrow. He's on the... And they give to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the pressure drives them backwards.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now, well, now we let the chess match begin, the adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Brown. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, it was bad enough that the previous run went backwards. You've got to have balance in this league. I mean, you really do. There's no chance offensively to find sustained success unless you present run and pass to a defense. And right now, this defense is owning your run game.
Katie York now on for the field goal. High percentage look for him here from the left hash. Groupie sends it through. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. Cordero Patterson now to return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Here comes the Pittsburgh offense for their 2nd drive of the game. And so far, they've executed exactly how they drew it up, Brock. Early lead, no points allowed, and a chance now to seize control of the game on their 2nd possession.
And, Kate, generally, offenses love to script their first 10 to 15 plays. Well, this entire game script is playing out just the way they want to.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Rush coming for Wilson. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Yeah, this game, you just can't make it harder than it needs to be. Just get the catch first. Guarantee your yards, and then worry about escaping defenders after the catch.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. A handoff for Harris, running right. Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Stop made by Sam Hubbard. 6 yards the pickup there. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Wilson on 3rd down. Warren's got it. Complete. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
First and 10 from the 41. Taking the handoff, now Wilson. Throw secured by George Pickett. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. How about a big hitter, 30, 40 yards there and a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Sets him up nice and pretty at the 25 following that big play. 1st down throw from Wilson. Snared by his running back, it's Najee Harris. And he'll go down here at the 16.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Russ is cooking again. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. They'll try to run it with Harris. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers get 6 more on their early advantage. Najee Harris, the touchdown. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with 1 end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
Boswell to add the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Steelers drive their lead to 11. Now Boswell on to send this away. Starting from the 5. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Bengals all set to go for their 2nd drive. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw on their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. The drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Brown on the inside give. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Peyton Wilson getting there for the stop.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Burrow back to throw. Gets it to his man, Mike Gesicki. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Here's Burrow. And that's incomplete. Wanted to dial up the aggressiveness there like that, but couldn't connect. 2nd down.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Trying to throw here out of the gun. This one taken in by Chase. And that's good for a gain of 5. Tackling like his dad, Joey Porter Jr. making that play.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
Third and short, it's Burrow. Coverage holds up, and he just had to get rid of it.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or 2, and 3rd down's critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, the coach wants to see them convert those.
The Bengals send out the punting unit. Calvin Austin on the return for the Steelers. Nice punt here, up and angled towards the sideline. The Steelers and Najee Harris making their return to the field. And he has run roughshod over them in this opening half. Pretty sure this is the exact kind of start that he was hoping to have here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Carried by Harris here to start the drive. And this one does not go far. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
From the 26 on 2nd down. This ball's cut by Pickens. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the 1st.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
New set of downs for him at the 38. First down, here's Russ. Pass taken in by Freiermuth. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable. It creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Running behind center with Harris. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. That'll be the end of one in this AFC North battle. It's a 2-score game early. More from Acrisure Stadium after the break. Second quarter, all queued up and ready to go. It's Steeler football. They still have 5 to go here, 3rd down. And the Bengals are too much. They take him down. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down. And he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
On 4th down, it's Corliss Waitman on for the Steelers to punt this away. And he's hoping for good results on his first look of the night. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. 58 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Bengals football. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Burrow from the gun. Bails out of the pocket quick. Now here he goes.
He made something out of that play for them. Everyone's so concerned with defending the pass, they didn't quite keep tabs on what he was doing as a QB. They gave him just enough room to run.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the gun, a give to Brown. And they had that one contained right at the line. Brought to the ground by Dante Jackson. They'll need 4 to convert now after no gain on 2nd down.
I don't mind that call on the early downs. Give that defense something to think about. You got the inside run between the tackles, and whether it's jet sweeps or a little swing pass, or in that case a toss, make sure you threaten to the outside.
Shotgun now on third down. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Running back sent in motion. First and 10 now. Here's Burrow. Finds Chase on the slant. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
In a good spot here, second and inches. From the 48. This is hauled in by T. Higgins. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And it sets up a Cincinnati first down.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Tackling like his dad, Joey Porter Jr. making that play. Give him a few yards on that run. It's second and 7.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Here's Brown again. And he's still looking for the play that sparks the ground game as that one stopped for a loss.
We take a break from his regularly scheduled programming of pass coverage duties to see him adding a little contribution in the run support. And his teammates, you can just see the body language. A little nod, a little grin. They'll welcome the reinforcements every time.
On third down, here's Burrow. He sends this one to the end zone. Too much on that, and it sails through the end zone, incomplete. So that play doesn't work out, but things make it even worse for them. Looks like one of their big guys out front is in need of a look from the training staff. Punting unit out now. And this will be his second effort of the contest. This one carries out of bounds. Not the greatest field position awaiting them. It's spotted at the 11. The Steelers and this running back headed back out for a new series. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. They're out and set, first and 10. They'll start with a give to Harris. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Harris once more. And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. Stop made by Sam Hubbard. It's about a 4-yard pickup, and they'll still be playing the sticks. 3rd and 11 coming up.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
Throwing on third, Wilson. That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. run goes for 25 yards. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
They're set up at the 35 now. On first down, it's Wilson. It's taken in by Williams. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And that's a Steelers first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Trying an inside give to Warren. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
A new set of downs awaits him. Here's first and 10. Defense shows blitz. Wilson. Fryermuth there to bring it in. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Wilson on first and 10. Catch is made in close. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line.
You know what I love to say? You never go broke taking a profit, and you often gain profits when you use your eyes as a quarterback. Those hitch routes, those underneath throws, oftentimes it's the eyes of the quarterback looking downfield and then taking that short completion.
Now a run with Harris, and he's in for the touchdown. The Steelers make it a 3-possession game. Najee Harris, the touchdown, his third of the game on the ground. He's into the end zone and already at 3 rushing scores before halftime, Brock. So they either got to find a way to keep him out, or he's going to run his way into the record books if they're not careful. Boswell to add the PAT. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Steelers push their lead to 18. Now Boswell on to send this away. Return coming from the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Bengals and Jamar Chase about to take over on offense once again. And unless the coverage adjusts to slow him down, Brock, he's going to be busy and a productive target for them throughout the rest of this contest. They'll get this drive started. First and 10. Slot receiver headed left. First down, Burrow to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Couldn't find Jamar Chase on that throw. And now it's second down. Another look for him, Brock, and hey, why not with the way he's playing so far? But this time, just couldn't hang on.
I think you'll see coordinators at times, Kate, get away from something that's working. I like that they go back to him. Make them defend him and stop him. They did that time. My hunch is they'll look for that receiver again today.
Finds his man, Chase. And he breaks even, but that's it. Brought down at that line of scrimmage. Patrick Queen arranging in for the tackle.
Kate, I could feel by your body language and the call that you saw exactly what I saw, and that was a big uh-oh. It's one of the nice things of having a bird's eye view on these screens. You can see it coming at the field. In the field level, you get lost. But not up here. You knew that play was doomed from the start.
Dialing up a receiver screen. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, and you can make a play in the open field. Keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Hunter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. Takes this in at the 25. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The Steelers back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And I'd say the ROI on his early touches have made him a pretty good investment for first half work. He's gotten off to a great start here. First and 10 now from the 30. Harris gets it on the counter. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Brought down by the veteran, Von Bell. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you're going to be a Pro Bowler.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 36. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
This is a time where you get in that huddle and you just look at one another and say, hey, let's get back in rhythm. Get back in rhythm. Get something good to feel good about. Sure, you'd love to get the first down, but more than anything, just find a positive play after a huge sack.
Extra DB out there for the Bengals. 3rd down coming. From the gun, it's Wilson. Rolling left, buying some time. And they get him right at the line of scrimmage. The rookie from Michigan, there that time.
That's a really good job by the defense right there. Doing something I hear all the time in coaches' meetings. I want to keep that quarterback in the box. I want to put a fence around him. Don't want to let him get out and make a big play breaking the pocket.
The Steelers set to punt it. And this is the 2nd time he's been brought on to kick it. Got 44 yards on his first kick, Brock, and this one looks to be longer. And a fair catch made without incident just inside the 25. No return on that punt. And they're going to take over possession. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Burrow out of the shotgun. Has him on the quick hitter. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
2nd and 3 now. They bring their tight end left. From the 31. A quick slant. Here's Gesicki. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. He manages a gain of 8 there. And it'll be 1st down, Bengals.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
On 1st down, here's Burrow. Higgins makes the catch. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. Slot man in motion right. To throw again, it's Burrow. Catch is made down the right sideline. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And it sets up a Cincinnati first down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
They're set up at the 35 now. Slot man motioned over. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. That's complete. Here's Brown. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Tackling like his dad, Joey Porter Jr. making that play.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how, I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make you pay.
Straight ahead, it's Brown. And he got it real close, but stopped just about a yard or so shy of that first down.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Here we go, third and less than a yard. Burrow setting up the play action. He's got a man left. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. Well, a tight end that moves the chains on third down, that's a QB's best friend.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. Burrow from the gun. He'll get this one to Brown. And he'll go down here at the 16. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 16. This one's caught. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line. 9-yard pickup, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Throwing it again here. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Trying to get it to T. Higgins. It's 2nd and goal. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
And he's going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati! The Bengals chop some of the lead off before the half. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on the football field. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. And he sure did.
On is Cade York for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Bengals make it an 11-point ball game. On now is York to kick this one away. Patterson now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. The home teams returning their offense and this running back to the field. They're getting close to a minute to play, Brock, and they're going to need that time with a long field ahead. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Wilson. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 35 out of that one. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
The Steelers calling their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. New set of downs for him at the 38. 1st down throw from Wilson. Completed here to Pickens. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
They'll come up 1st and 10. Wilson now from the gun. It's caught. That's Calvin Austin. They'll have 1st and goal to go now after they gained 18 on the previous play.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Russ is cooking again. Cut near the goal line. Now a timeout taken by the offense, and we're going to see if they try for 2 plays here or just try the field goal right now. The nose of the football inside the 1. Here's 2nd and goal. Once more, it's Wilson. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers get more points to end a lopsided 1st half. Pat Fryermuth, the touchdown. Well, good luck stopping the big fella that close to the goal line, Brock. I've always thought that the distance right there is just made for tight ends to score touchdowns.
Yeah, and it's not just the sport that you also love to cover in basketball. It's all about matchups. You get near the red zone and into the end zone, matchups become critical. And when you got a dude like this that's a mismatch maker, you feed him.
Boswell gets that point after to go. And the Steelers push their lead to 18. Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. So new kickoff rules. This is going to come out to the 30, not the 25 on the touchback. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. Some early movement on the left side there, but was he the first to go, or was he provoked? One of the most common penalties in the sport, and the reaction, it's the same every time, Brock. Frustration from the coach as they get backed up 5 yards.
Still 1st down.
They're set back 5 by that false start. Now 15 yards to the marker. They'll turn to the ground game and just run this clock out. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Patrick Queen arranging in for the tackle. So we arrive at halftime here in Pittsburgh. The Steelers leading after 2. Now it's down to Florida, where Jonathan Coachman is standing by in Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Reports. We got a fine first half out of the former Alabama man, Najee Harris. He was running with a purpose as he found the end zone 3 times in that first half. And that opposing defense had better come up with a scheme for slowing him down.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Kickoff taken at the 3. And this drive will start inside the 25. Out come the Bengals. It's their ball first, leaving the locker room. In that first half, they just couldn't keep up the pace, but they're going to be the ones setting the pace here to begin this third quarter. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Burrow. No one open, so he chucks this to another county.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive downfield. I love the call. I love pushing the ball down the field. But the windows in the throwing lanes aren't there long, and it only takes a little bit for a throw to be off.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Burrow setting to throw. Into the hands of Gesicki. Complete. We'll have him gain up about a handful there. Peyton Wilson getting there for the stop.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
3rd and short, it's Burrow. That's Gesicki. He's got it. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. 1st and 10 now. Here's Burrow. Got a man. It's Gesicki. And he's out of bounds just past, looks like, the 40-yard line.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Now a shotgun handoff to Brown. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Patrick Queen arranging in for the tackle. They hit it to single yard that time. They're going to have to solve 3rd down and 4. Burrow out of the shotgun. Ooh, he missed that one, and he knew it. Put it behind his guy, and now it's 4th down.
So many coaches love 3rd downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know got to execute, convert on these 3rd downs.
They'll send out the punting unit. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. And that hit at the 5, but got the bounce it needed to reach the end zone for a touchback. This offense running out for a new series, led by their running back. And they have leaned on him to get this offense to the end zone in the game, and he's delivered. He's hit pay dirt 3 times. Part of a really nice game for him so far, Brock. Been returning good value on the looks that he's been getting. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Russ now from the gun. This ball's cut by Pickens. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's a Steelers 1st down.
Well, there's a time to be a little finessey with the football, put a little touch on, and then there's time to put your arm into it and let it eat. Throw it right through your target's chest. This one, well, that one right there was the latter. Smart to make a fastball zing in before anyone could undercut the curl route.
Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Wilson now off the play action. Cut along the left sideline, but he did not get both feet in. That's incomplete, brings up 3rd down.
Now, that's a nice job by the defense, Kate, to actually use the 12th defender, and that is the sideline. That throw didn't give the receiver enough real estate to establish possession, and the defense understanding how to use the boundary.
Throwing on 3rd, Wilson. It's caught right side by Freiermuth. Decent gain here, but short of the 1st.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And he's brought down before the return gets far. Call that a booming 56 yards in the end. And it's going to be their football coming up. So now here comes the Bengals on offense. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Burrow completes this one to Chase. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Here's Burrow. He's throwing deep to the left side. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete. That was Jamar Chase he was looking for there. And that takes them to 3rd down.
The ability to track the ball, right? Ball skills isn't just knocking it away, and that's a beautiful job there, Kate. The ball skills is also being able to track a ball on a deeper throw like that. If he doesn't swat it away, we're looking at a huge gain.
On 3rd down, here's Burrow. Complete beyond the marker. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. On the handoff, this is Brown. And he's stopped after running it up across the 45 to the 46. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Man in motion out of the slot. Here's 2nd and 2. Dumps it off to his running back. And he's out of bounds. Looks like right at the midfield stripe. It's a gain of 4. And it'll be first down, Bengals.
Translatable skills. That's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
Tight end in motion right. On first down, here's Burrow. Has him on the quick hitter. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. A run with Brown. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
New set of downs for him at the 38. First down, and they go right back to him. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. Give him 13 on that play. And it sets up a Cincinnati first down.
Ooh, I like that call. I really like it with those sticks. You can keep them on the sidelines, and you get more than enough to get the first down.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Burrow from the gun. Short pass brought in. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
2nd and 3 now. Burrow back to throw. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. Touchdown, Cincinnati. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
York now for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Bengals make it an 11-point ball game.
Bengals 17.
On now is York to kick this one away. Patterson now to return it. Some good work on that return. Brock gets this up to the 33. The home teams, now Russell Wilson, headed back to the field now. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember. But as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. Ball at the 33 for first down. Here's Wilson. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
You know, that's one of those situations you want to get your back in space. Well, you accomplish that. Unfortunately, you don't make anything happen because you don't bring the ball in cleanly.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Throwing again is Russ. Escapes the pocket. He breaks out the slide. Didn't want to take a hit, but he is just shy of the first down marker.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. A third down run with Harris. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Play action, it's Wilson. He puts some power on it, deep one left. He's got it inside the 10. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with first and goal.
Not met many receivers in my life that don't love the spotlight, but you got to earn your place there. The easy way to do it, catches just like that, going up into double coverage and making the play anyway.
This offense in position now. It's first and goal. Working inside the red zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. We've seen him do a lot more to reach the end zone on a catch, Brock. That one was kind of fed right to him.
Yeah, they say the running backs have a nose for the end zone. You know who else does? Every skill guy out there, because they want to put a touchdown on the board.
Boswell to add the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Steelers push their lead to 18. Now Boswell on to send this away. This return starts at the 5. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. The Bengals and Joe Burrow all set to take over. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards, too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. A give now to Brown. And his charge towards the line, that's right around 3 yards.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it, and we'll move to the next.
Second down now, 7 to go. From the 27. Hits him on the out route. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, But these outcuts, it is so imperative. And the best of them make it look oh so easy.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. Now Burrow. He has the first over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
There's no question the greatest concern there was just getting the first down. You want a high percentage throw, and you're not really concerned about big yards. Well, the drag route was perfect. He comes open in the short field. It's easy to zip that throw right in there and reset those chains.
1st and 10 from the 41. Throwing is Burrow. Little off center. His man just couldn't adjust to it.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on first. It's 2nd down. To throw again, it's Burrow. On target to his man Higgins. And a nice gain here, but it stopped short of the first.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. I picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Burrow out of the shotgun. Burton there to bring it in. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
Gosh, I really like this receiver on that drag route in particular. Why? Because he's a guy that creates after the catch. They don't close quickly. He could take it to the house.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. 1st down, Burrow to throw. Into the hands of Gesicki, complete. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. He picks up 15 on the play. And it'll be 1st down, Bengals.
That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can hum in there, and there's nothing this defense can do.
All right, I'll set up now. 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. This one taken in by Chase. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. They get an even 10 on that play. And it sets up a Cincinnati 1st down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
On the move, headed right. He can run it. And he's able to get this down to the 13.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock. You know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing he woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep him moving forward.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. On the ground, Brown. And that hit stops him in his tracks. No gain on that one, and now it's 3rd and 8.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
Here he is on 3rd and long. Gets it towards the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tough to blame him for that drop, Rock, even if it would have been a touchdown. That was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react, and then you got to burst. And that defender does a tremendous job of breaking that pass up with contact.
Groupie sends it through. And that lowers the deficit to 15.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. 2nd time they brought him out for a field goal, and 2nd time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
Now he's York to kick this one away. Patterson now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. Pittsburgh getting its offense all set to go. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays that followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.